Sporting dog adventures, run boy
That
run.
was awesome.
Everything you
Good
need
boy,
is
here.
here under the sun. Everything you need is here under the sun.
When you're working with your dog, getting them ready for the season, young dog or old dog, a great thing to do is work with them out of a dog blind if that is what you're going to hunt them out of. We want to practice how we play. They say that in sports. It's the same thing with dog training. So I always work with our young dogs when they're in their initial gun dog training out of a dog blind, and I also work with our older dogs on the same thing as an obedience measure and as getting them field ready for the upcoming season. We've got Pappy here. We are going to work first on getting him into the dog blind, which we just use the Kennel Command. Just like you're putting him in a crate, I look at the dog blind as a crate. So with Pappy, it's kennel. Now you have the different commands. I use kennel or I use sit for the dog. And with that, it is basically teaching the dog in his mind, I want you to be in the kennel or into the dog blind. When you've got a young dog, you can use treats to get them in it. When you've got a dog that doesn't want to go in, you can use an e-collar if you really need to, but I try to keep it fun so that the dog is enjoying going into the crate or the kennel or the dog blind. So with this, we've got Pappy in there. What you don't realize is as I'm sitting here talking to you about the training method, we're actually training. He understands that he is going to stay in there until I give him his command to retrieve, which is his name, or until I call him out. Pappy, here. Come here. Good boy. Sit. Good dog. Good. Again, keep everything as positive as you can. Kennel. Good boy. Good dog. Kennel. Good dog. The thing to watch is if you've got an excitable dog, you don't want to amp your voice up too much because the dog will get excited and they'll come out of the dog blind, which then puts us in a position of we have to put him back in and possibly correct him. So it's reassuring him he's where you want him to be. Kennel, good dog. Kennel, good boy. Kennel, good dog. Yes, he is in the crate. He is in the dog blind. He is where we want him to be when we're giving him the kennel command, but we're reassuring him and giving him positive reinforcement with our voice inflection to let him know that this is absolutely where we want him to be. Kennel, good boy. And then again, call him out. Here, come here, buddy. Here, good dog. Oh, good boy, good boy, good. Kennel. This is the first step in the process of teaching your dog how to hunt out of a dog blind. We don't want the first time that they see a dog blind to be when they're out in the field. I personally like the dog blinds that are closed on the back side so that they're not open where the dog can just go through them and back through. It all depends on what you can find at your local store. This one is good that way. There are some that actually have zippers where you can zip the dog in, so it's basically like a crate blind. Those are great too, because then you lose the risk of the dog breaking and putting themselves in harm's way. But again, this is something that we're going to do. Now that we've got him in here, we're actually going to start doing our training, which is retrieving out of the dog blind. Here. Sit. Good boy. Now, Pappy has his head sticking out of the blind. We do not want that. We want him to be back in the blind so that one, he's less apt to break, but two, he's not going to flare birds. So I've got an electric collar on him. I'm going to give him correction and tell him kennel. Kennel. He understands. He's an older dog. He eased himself back into the kennel or back into the dog blind. So now we're going to actually just do our regular training, which is letting him swim and get bumpers. He's an older dog. He doesn't need this, but he does because I work on obedience, but it's also getting him in shape for the season. I talk to him, kennel, good boy, kennel, kennel, good, kennel, good, kennel. This is not about marking. This is not about the retrieve. This is all about our control with him in the dog blind. So I'm going to leave him in there for a while because that is what hunting is like. They don't always get to come out of the dog blind right away. Sometimes you have other birds working. Sometimes you put other birds on the water. So we're going to keep him in there. And again, this is something I struggle with my dogs. It's really hard to film, to host a show, and to run a dog. So this is stuff that we need to work on every year with our dogs because they always get loose and break at times, which is not optimal, but it is reality. So it's something you need to do every year. Now he's ready for his retrieve. We just give him his name, which is his release to go retrieve. Pappy. You don't have to worry about having long swims at this point. Again, this is not about the retrieve. It's not about his marking. This is all about our control with our dog blind. Good boy. Good. Here. Good. Hold it. Good dog. Good boy. Heel. Heel. Hold. Sit. Good boy. Drop. Kennel. Kennel. Put him back in the kennel. And then I will do this with the dogs 5 to 10 times. Let them get in some exercise. He is sticking his head out a little bit again, so it's kennel. Again, I nicked him with the collar, which is just a slight correction that is momentary. And he basically eases back into the kennel. So it's sitting there, kennel, good dog, kennel, kennel, good, kennel, good boy. Keeping him in there, teaching him that he's going to go when I release him, and then releasing him on his name again. Pappy, Pappy. Good boy. Using our whistle commands, calling him back in. Here, hold, come on. Heel, 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 sit. Good boy. Make him finish his retrieves. Make him style up. Hold, drop. Next, we're going to actually get out the calls, and we're going to use a 209 primer pistol. We're going to up the level of excitement, which for an older dog is not as hard, but for a young dog is something they really struggle with. Sporting Dog Adventures is presented by the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks, and Tourism, Boucher Automotive, Fleet Farm, Heavy Shot, Mac Outdoors, Rite, inertia-driven shotguns, and Soggy Acres Retrievers. Hey, welcome to Season 9 of Sporting Dog Adventures. Please like our videos, share them, and spread the word to all your friends. So now we've got Pappy, where we worked them out of a blind throwing bumpers. I'm going to raise the level of excitement as much as I can to make it more like a hunt, so it's something he's going to see in the field. I'm going to call, I'm going to yell, take him, and I'm also going to shoot a 209 primer pistol, which is what we condition our dogs for gunfire with here at Soggy Acres Retrievers. He's in the blind. Actually talk a little. Here they come. Get ready. Here they come. Here they come. Take them. Kennel, kennel, kennel. Hey, kennel. Sit. So that worked out perfect. You never want a dog to fail, but I've been having problems with Pappy breaking. He broke. We stopped him. We nicked him with the collar. We put him back in. We're going to leave him sit in there for a while. I usually count to like 5 or 10 seconds. He's been corrected. And then release him. Pappy, come on, go get it. And we're going to repeat it several more times until he gets it right. Come here, hold it. Kennel. So now we're going to give him an obedience command before we do our series to, again, encourage him and train him that he is not to break. I cannot stress enough, I get people all the time that talk about breaking dogs. All dogs can and will break if you don't work with them enough. Proof by my own dogs at times. Kennel, kennel, good, kennel, kennel, good dog, kennel, good boy. Again, we're going to correct him. Simulate it. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. There they are. Take them. Kennel. Good boy. Kennel. Good. Pappy. Pappy. He came to the front of the blind. His nose did not go out. He did not get corrected. He did what we wanted. Good boy. Here. Good boy. Here. drop. Good. Kennel. Kennel up. So again, we did really good on the last, so we're gonna again tell him, kennel, kennel. Good boy, kennel, good. Give him our command. Get ready. We're going to blow our call. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Take him. Kennel. Good. Kennel. Talk to the dog. Kennel. Good boy. Kennel. Teach him that's what we want him to do. Kennel. Good boy. Pappy. Give him his release. And he's off. This is easy stuff you can do with an older dog. Helps get him in shape. Helps get him rounded out and ready for the season.
Nothing beats a good pheasant hunt with my sons. We're headed to Kansas this winter. The state has some of the world's best populations of upland game, making it one of America's top bird hunting destinations. Kansas provides mixed bag opportunities and 1.5 million acres of public hunting lands. All that makes Kansas an ideal destination. The season runs from the second weekend in November to the end of January. Go to ksoutdoors.com and plan your trip today.